EAR application. So what is EAR application? It is Enterprise Archive. Liberty supports EAR to a limited extent. It is not like traditional or monolithic applications, enterprise archives. It does not support full EJBs. Liberty supports EJB Lite. So depending on features enabled, the Liberty will process your enterprise archive. So Liberty supports ER to a limited extent depending on features enabled. Basically, the EAR bundle or EAR file, it contains multiple WAR modules, meaning multiple WAR files inside it, and EJB Lite only modules, meaning EJBs are enterprise Java beans. This is a main part in the application code for an enterprise application where the complex business logic is developed and packaged into a jar file. So EJBs are basically packaged into a jar file, and web applications are packaged into either a jar file or a WAR file. And it may also contain shared resources. For example, there is a piece of code, uh, it is common or same used in multiple web modules and EJBs. So instead of adding that code to all the modules, what developers do is the common resources in the form of jar file can be added in a separate location under the EAR file as a common shared resources. And that will be shared by all the other modules. It may be WAR files or EAR files. An EAR application has also a deployment descriptor, which is called application.xml. So this application.xml contains the entire modules references inside it. So for example, there is a banking application. And in that banking application, inside it, there are multiple applications like for credit cards, for loan processing, or a debit card, or there are many things, net banking or mobile banking. So these all are different applications incorporated into an EAR application. So all these applications references are added into application.xml deployment descriptor. So when the application is deployed and your server is started, the server loads the deployment descriptors into the runtime, and whenever you hit the server with a URL, the context root and the subcontext root is used by the server to call the particular resource. For example, I have opened the welcome page of a banking application, and I want to go to the debit card application. For some reason, I want to change my credentials, like the password, or I want to do a transaction. So I log in, I click on the net banking link. So what happens? The first welcome page is served, and then I have clicked on net banking link. So the net banking resource is already hard coded inside this deployment descriptor, which is application.xml. So as soon as I click on net banking, the net banking context root is mapped with the respective web module inside your banking EAR application, right? So the server will look up the respective web module for net banking, and it will start processing your request. And once the resource is found, then it will start processing that particular piece of code from your application, which is a web module called net banking. So that is how the requests are processed. So the main and important configuration file inside a web application is web.xml, and for enterprise archive or enterprise application, it is application.xml. All right. So this is the internal structure of a EAR file. So it contains web modules in the form of WAR files, and it contains EJBs in jar format, and it may also contain shared resources in the form of jar files and a folder where the deployment descriptor, which is application.xml, is present. That is meta INF. So this is a structure of enterprise archive file.